Hi guys, how you doing? It's Vince here. Going to do a contest entry for Eric, ejd715. Good guy, congrats on your subs. Chatted with him a little bit. He's a musician like me, so he's got that extra drive when it comes to music that we musicians seem to have when it comes to the whole process. So he kind of gets that, and as a guitar player himself, his question was our top 5 guitar players and why and all that. Being that I've always primarily been the singer in a band, guitar's been kind of a second instrument, and I also play bass and drums and little keyboards. I've always been the main lead singer. So instead of just picking favorite guitar players, I decided to pick guitar players that I really like that are also really good singers. So there's a lot of guitar players that I would pick in my top 5 and in my honorable mentions that you're not going to see because they're not very good singers. So Eddie Van Halen will not be in here. Sorry, he can barely sing backups. So I'm going to start with one playing in the background. This isn't actually him. This is a band, one of the bands he was in. Probably the first known, at least sort of known band that he was in. It was a group called the Tigers of Pantang. And he's not actually singing in here, but we did find out later on, first in Whitesnake and later on in his own group Blue Murder, that he's a very, very good singer and an amazing guitar player and writer as well. That would be Mr. John Sykes. He also went on to play with Thin Lizzy before joining Whitesnake, and then, like I said, Blue Murder afterwards. As far as the metal genre, I think he's the best one that has all the chops and also could sing lead in pretty much any band. There aren't a lot of them out there that can have both strong like that, and he's definitely one of them. So John Sykes is an honorable mention. I picked my top 5 I picked because I've had them with me the longest. So I like their playing and their singing the most, and they've influenced me the most. So the next honorable mention is Mr. Kim Mitchell, Canadian brother, originally from Max Webster. Played a lot with Rush back in the day. He's huge in Canada, anywhere else not so much, but a very, very, very cool and individual style player with some really good jazz and progressive influence chops, and also a really strong singer. Though he doesn't have a big range, his voice itself is a good, strong lead voice. So we got Kim Mitchell. Another one I got here who's a really good guitar player, also a really strong singer, is Mr. Pat Travers. I've always been more of a 70s guy in here, so you'll see more 70s players than anything in my stack. But you know, I think most people know Pat, at least for a handful of tunes anyway. But great blues rock player and also pretty strong vocalist as well. One of my favorite musicians, period. Can play anything. Also a really soulful voice, Mr. Todd Rundgren. Kind of like his soloing style is kind of like Clapton turned up to 15. Very similar straight blues style, but over the edge where Clapton kind of kept it there. But a much stronger singer than Clapton is. And like I said, he can play anything. He's recorded so much stuff where he played all the instruments, so many different styles over the years, produced so many people, so much with computers that he's done. He's too much. Got a couple here that kind of go together. I'm going to start with Johnny Winter because he was kind of earlier. Johnny, great blues singer. And of course a great blues guitarist before Stevie Ray popped in. Of course I got to mention Stevie because he is also a great singer and a great player as well. but because I had him in my life longer, he touches me a little more. His voice is a little more gritty than Stevie's is, though they came from the same place in Texas. I relate to Johnny a little more. I also love Edgar too, but he's not a guitar player, so I can't mention him.